Greetings everybody, this is an introduction to our thermodynamics project experiment, the Calorimetry experiment. This is an introduction to our group members, starting with...
My name is Muhammad Salman, my ID 20230117.
My name is Ibrahim Nader, my ID is 2023028001.
Sayyid Ali Muhammad 20230337.
And my name is Muhammad Istamimi, 2022-00120.
My name is Abdullah Khalid Dosari and my ID is 2022-0085.
My name is Nasser Maki, 2022-00080.
My name is Rasha Malik and my ID is 2023-06270.
So these are the equipment used in our experiment. We have the tripod, so we can take video of our experiment. We have our ruler, we have our styrofoam box, we have our beaker, safety gloves, foam for insulation, we have aluminium foil also for insulation, our thermometer to measure the temperature inside the styrofoam box. We have our cutter, so we can build the whole experiment. We have our duct tape and markers to mark where we want to cut, and we have our ice water, so we can use it in the experiment. And for the second part, we have the kettle to heat up the water and some aluminium insulation.
So first of all, we added aluminium foil in the foam box so we can minimize heat loss. To conduct the experiment, we have took the measurement of the center of the foam box and we added the diameter of the beaker so we can conduct the experiment. In the following procedure, we added aluminium foil sponge so we can maintain the heat loss from the beaker and from the foam box. This is a foam spray insulation that we are going to use to conduct our experiment. We had to cut the aluminium foil sponge since it is higher than the foam box, which then we cannot close the foam box. In this part, we will be covering the beaker with aluminium so that the heat doesn't escape from the beaker. Now we will be starting to add a spray insulation in the foam box. we couldn't close the foam box because the aluminium foil sponge was higher, and we needed to cut the upper part of the foam box so we can close it perfectly. In this procedure, we added the beaker on top of the foam box so we can pin a hole for the thermometer by taking its dimensions. As you can see, the thermometer enters perfectly. After taking the hot water from the kettle, we measured it and found that the hot water has a 71 degrees temperature. We have found that the mass of the hot water is 0.500 kilograms. After that, we will be measuring the temperature of the cold water, which is 6 degrees Celsius, as you can see here. And then we measured its mass with shown 0.445 kilograms. Finally, by adding the cold water to the hot water inside the foam box and closing it, we have found that the final temperature is approximately 43.1 degrees Celsius. This is the experimental temperature. Finally, we measured the mass of the both cold and hot water, and we got 0.710 to 0.715. So first of all, for the theoretical part, we will find the temperature of the theoretical. So first of all, we have the M1 times C1 times T1. M1, which is known as mass, and C1, which is known as specific heat capacity, and the T1 is known as temperature. Okay, so first of all, we will find the cold water theoretical. We use it from the data from table A3 by using the interpolation method, since we have the temperature at the cold water, which is 6 degrees. So we use the interpolation, we got the specific heat capacity of the cold water, which is 4.215. And also we found the data for the hot water from table A3, which is doing also an interpolation, since it is the temperature of the hot water is 71 degrees, and we found the value, which is specific heat capacity for the hot water, 4.188.
We substituted in the formula and we got theoretical temperature equal 40.33 Celsius. And in the experimental temperature we got 43.1 from our experiment we did in the lab. So we use the formula of error, which is absolute temperature of theoretical minus experimental temperature over theoretical temperature times 100, and we got 6.86%.
So here we have some of the errors that occurred during the experiment. We have human errors, for example, not taking the exact numbers or readings from the thermometer and such. Instrumental error. The instruments that we use were either not calibrated properly or overused over time, so it's not as accurate as they used to be. Also, we have environmental errors, heat loss due to different types of insulations, like other groups using different types of foams or foils to insulate the box. Also, isolation. The insulation for the experiment, either it was not cut properly or it wasn't the right type for the experiment.